Welcome back, and now it's time to discuss a very important issue, the Girls' Day. I didn't know that it's celebrated around the world on the 11th of October, but today it's time to see and to know why on the 11th of October and to shed more light on this topic. We are very much delighted to have with us live here in the studio our dear guests, Mrs. Amany Shenouda, the Communication Manager of Plans International, and also Dr. Hassan, the founder of Women Movement. It's an NGO. You are the most important, or Inti al-Aham. A very good morning to you both.
Thank you.
Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Ladies first, let's start by you. I want to know, as Nermeen mentioned, it's my first time to know that there's a day just for girls. I mean, celebrating a Girls' Day.
Yeah.
So I want to know the history behind that day and also the importance of celebrating it.
Yeah, thank you for asking this question.
You're most welcome.
For me, it's very important because I'm proud to say that the Plan International is the INGO who marked this day on the United Nations calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an initiative from Plan Egypt, Plan International, to shed the light on girls' issues globally in order to highlight discrimination, violence, many things that
Problems
girls
faced
face.
by girls.
Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
So this was an initiative, and the UN just marked the 11th of October.
But when did you start celebrating it? I mean,
2012 was the first
so
year.
it's recently.
Yes, it's recent. It started with girls' education. The theme of this first year was early marriage for the first
Such
year.
an important thing.
Yeah. Second year was girls' education, and this year is violence against girls.
Okay, quite interesting.
Is it a mere coincidence that we are celebrating Girls' Day on the 11th of October, just 24 hours after announcing Malala Yousafzai as a Nobel laureate and for her struggle to defend her right and other Pakistani girls' rights to be well-educated, well-cultured, and after suffering this head injury after being shot from Taliban? Is it a coincidence?
No, it's not related to it, but I think it's not chance. I think every girl has a right to write ABC and to read 1, 2, 3. First year for Girl International Day, since 3 years, it was about child marriage. If you think about child marriage, outside the mean child marriage, marriage under age of 18. Early marriage means early pregnancy, which leads to multiple pregnancy. And I always say this story, I have said it before and will say it again, that I have met before a patient in Al-Asr Al-Aini Hospital. She was pregnant in her 5th baby. When I asked her about her age, she told me, "Doctor, I don't know, check my ID." When I look in her ID, I found that she was only 21 years old and pregnant in her 5th baby. But if you look in her face, you think she is like older than 40. This means that early pregnancy leads to multiple pregnancy, which exhausts women, drains or her body. Because I think such women who has multiple pregnancy, her husband will not care about her, will not give her medications, vitamins, enough nutrition. She will not have good antenatal cares during her pregnancy. Second year for International Day of Girl was about education, how to find innovative way to educate girls. Maybe still now in Egypt we have discrimination between boys and girls in education. Maybe if poor family, she will choose to educate the boy and will not educate the girl. So also I always say that education is the only solution for our community. Education is the only solution for our girls. If girl is educated, she will have a good job. If not educated, mostly she will work in homes. Third year, we are talking about violence, which are facing girls, maybe sexual harassment facing girls. I was reading yesterday a report that first country in sexual harassment is Afghanistan, followed by Egypt, followed by Saudi Arabia. If you focus about these countries, you will find all these countries say that we are Islamic countries. But
no, sir. I mean, what was the source of this report?
Yesterday, this report was written in newspaper.
Why?
Newspaper.
Because
Can I say that? Yes.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, اليوم السابع.
Okay,
Seventh
great.
day. 7th day. It was a report, full report. You can check it yesterday.
I mean, conducted by whom? Because I think that such data may be deceiving.
Maybe.
I guess this is a global rating.
I think it's
I've seen
global.
it before.
I think here in Egypt we don't make rating. But since it's about rating, about all the world, it said Afghanistan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia. The report also was talking about many things, maybe watching porn sites. It also says that Egypt and Arab countries have...
This is quite clear, I think,
Yeah.
because when you go to the street,
Yeah.
I mean, any girl, even she's veiled or not,
Yeah.
she will be
Yeah.
sexually harassed.
Yeah.
So I want to know from you both, of course, you have talked about very important issues like violence against girls, education. I think you are facing challenges maybe in the rural areas because of the culture of people and the way they think.
Yeah.
For example, the female genital mutilation or
Yeah.
the FGM. I think it's a crisis. Until now, people are quite, they do believe in such a process. I think for them it's really important away from, they are talking from a religious point of view, which
Yeah.
is of course quite far from that. So of course you're facing such big challenges over there. How you're dealing with those challenges, and do you think that people's mind are changing?
For Plan, actually, this is one of the main issues that we're dealing with, is harmful traditional practices, which starts with FGM, then early marriage, then the whole process of violence against women and girls. When we talk about FGM and early marriage too, I cannot say it's an easy go. It's never an easy go, because you're talking about something that is an idea and belief that it's really deep-rooted in the minds of Egyptians, especially in certain communities. So the percentage are still high, yet we're working, and the only way we can do this is working on the whole family. So the holistic approach that Plan do with the community is working with the core of Plan is the child. Okay, so the child is the core. In order to make this child shine, in order to make him believe in himself, the whole community should support. So I cannot work on the child alone. So we work on child protection, child rights, girls and women, because she's the child and she's the mother and she's the sister. With youth, because they are the voice of the community and the civil society, in order to make sure that there is sustainable development. So this holistic approach make the mother understands what would happen for her daughter if this continues to happen. What are the consequences of the FGM? The girl herself, when she knows, when she understands, when she I believe that knowledge is power. So they need to know, because it's a vicious circle. They all do it again and again and again. The mother believes that this should be done, and it's culture and it's religion and all this stuff. So she continues doing it. But we have some inspiring case studies. One of them, actually, she's in Spain now. She's representing Plan Egypt in Spain. She's a girl from communities, and she fought FGM when she knew about it, and when she attended these seminars and this capacity building. And
she fought it in her family, or I mean in the community, the whole community?
We have different case studies. But the one I'm talking about, she refused to do FGM. And she convinced her father, and the father was really open-minded, and he believed in his daughter. Then the mother, she's convinced too, and the family.
Step by step, it started.
Yeah, and the family itself. I see it's really a real success story, because the family itself fought the whole community and the bigger family and the bigger, So they believe in it. And even the younger daughter, she's not circumcised too. So, and we have another girls that they didn't know earlier, so they got circumcised, but they still fight this with their communities, with their neighbors, and they believe
This is
in
quite
it.
interesting.
Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
So knowledge is power. Empowering girls and make them know.
And here I should ask, what you're saying is great, but how this can be implemented, how this can be an infection, a healthy infection, I may say. Whenever we are talking about the activities of those NGOs here in Egypt, how are you propagating for yourself? I mean, are you meeting with people in the streets, in conferences, in workshops, going to schools, to clubs, moving from the cities to the rural areas, as Jessie said? I think the problem is focused there according to the standard of living and the standard of education. How are you doing it on the ground with people?
As you said, we are doing it on the ground. We're working in 7 governorates, so we're doing it with the communities themselves. So it's not a parachute programs. We sit with the girls and youth, with the communities, with the community leaders, and put these programs and see how can we approach the community. So we got these community leaders in order to say the message, in order to convince their peers.
Seems that it's easier for Mrs. Amany because she is a woman, but for a gynecologist, I think he is a source of trust.
I think we have a problem to change customs and traditions deeply embedded in our genes, in our minds. Since people are poor and illiterate, so it's difficult to change their minds. Mostly people will say to you that this is related to religion, but always we answer them, if it is present in religion, why it's not present in Saudi Arabia? In Saudi Arabia, there is no circumcision and FGM, so this is the only proof that it's not related to religion. I think we need to more to empower women. We need to more empower girls. If you think in Egypt, what protect girls, what protect women, either she has good supportive family or she has the money can protect her, but money and family can go in any time. But what present with her is her education, her work. If girl has good education, she will have a good work, and this will persist with her. Her good education and work will protect her from the community, protect her from during her lifetime if she has a problems with her husband, while the money can go in any time or she may lose her family. So we are trying every time to talk with parents about importance of education. A message to every father, try to invest in your girl. The actual investment is not in buildings, actual investment in people. Here in Egypt, people are youth, and to be more specific in girls, I think if you correct the pathway of our girls, you will correct the pathway of the community.
You're right,
girls
sir.
and women are half of the community, but actually when they become a mother, they are controlling the other half through their role as a mother and wives.
I apologize because we're running out of time, but I hope that we can talk about this very important issue later on. Mrs. Amany Shenouda, the Communication Manager of Plan International, thank you for joining us. And Mr. Amr Hassan, founder of the movement. You're the most important. I wanted to talk more about this movement, but later on. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us.
Have a very good day.
Good morning.
We are going to return back with more on Al TV International's Breakfast Show. Stay tuned.